All right, everybody, it's back. I'm Eric the Brown. This is Nerd News, episode 6. Um, so I got a few things I wanted to talk about in this Nerd News episode. One, if you haven't seen Infinity War, go see that movie. It made about $1.2 billion already in the second week, so if you haven't seen it, you're missing out. But I just want to start with some gaming news first. Nintendo has been saying they not gonna have a virtual console for the Switch, and I was kind of surprised and shocked by that because I was actually looking forward to playing like GameCube games and 64 games on the system itself. But them not having a virtual console is probably gonna hurt it. Not that the sales have shown any types. I heard. Literally, the thing is selling off shelves. You can't keep them in stock. But just moving forward, that they're not going to have a virtual console is kind of weird because like the virtual console is one of the things people wanted the most out of that system. So like them not having a virtual console, like not being able to play 64 games and being able to play Super Nintendo games, the regular Nintendo games. Like I'm sure they're gonna have something where it's you can go in the backlog and play those old games. But I was kind of looking forward to 64 games and GameCube games being able to be played on there. So that was a little disappointing, and to hear about it, I hope Nintendo just. I hope this is like a smokescreen type of thing, like oh, we're not gonna have a virtual console. It's gonna be the interactive console or something like that. Something different where they still do the backlog of those old games that you can play, you can download, and you can play off the Switch anywhere. That would be awesome, like really awesome. It could be like a play where it's like it's not going to be called the virtual console anymore. It's going to be called something else. But hopefully that's just like I said, smoke and mirrors. They're just trying to throw people off the track on what they're doing. Also saw some news about a Red Dead and Grand Theft Auto 5 crossover, which is crazy because Red Dead is based in back in Cowboys, cowboy era. So I'm not sure that's how that's gonna work, unless it's just like an online thing and they kind of mix it together. Where no, I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work. That's gonna be very interesting to actually see because I don't know how they're gonna do that one. And Red Dead and Grand Theft Auto 5 are probably one of the biggest world maps they've ever done at Rockstar. So it'll be interesting to see what they're gonna do with the crossover between Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto 5. That'll be pretty wild to witness. So for the first time in history of Square Enix will be doing their own press conference at E3. I think their press conference is set for June 11th. So during the E3, they're gonna have their own conference, and everybody's like, "Yeah, that's fine, but are you going to show us and give us a date on Kingdom Hearts 3? Are you going to give us information on the Final Fantasy 7 remake, or like a like an update on it? Because let's be real, those games are one of the highly anticipated games coming from Square Enix. I know, like people are like, they're gonna have the Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider game, and like that's fine. Like the Tomb Raider games, they've been really good so far. They've been having a good streak with those Tomb Raider games. They've been excellent. I'm not knocking it. But Kingdom Hearts has been long in the works and in the wait, and that's what people really want to see. When you showed that Final Fantasy 7 remake at that E3, I almost jumped out of my seat, and now it hasn't even been any information on it. So like I'm hoping they'll give us some information on it, show us some gameplay, look at the progress of this, like because Kingdom Hearts 3 should be done. All right, you should be giving us a date on that game. At least Final Fantasy 7 give us some information on what's going on because like the game is it's been it's been like 4 or 5 years I want to say since they said anything about that game because I believe they showed that at the E3 that they were showing the PlayStation 4. So yeah, get it together, man. Like we need to see something. We need to see why we should, invest in this game for the future. Like You're not giving us anything that we, you're basically giving us nothing. You're giving us nothing on Final Fantasy VII, and we need to see more. So there are also rumors at E3 that 343 Studios, which is the studios, of course, that took over Halo after Bungie left. They're going to be seeing something about Halo 6 coming in. So you're going to be seeing some Halo 6 news, maybe. Um, of course, it's no promises, and I myself, I think Halo is kind of taking a back right now. Like, I mean, when Halo first came out, it was unstoppable. It was definitely a shooter worth your time. You know what I mean? So like when they released 4 and then they released 5, I wasn't really feeling like the whole 5 thing. I definitely didn't feel. I liked 4 a little more, but it was so repetitive that it wasn't worth playing. Like you fought the same boss like 6 times. I'm like, come on, man, that's just lazy game design on the real. And then like it was no solution at the end. Like it wasn't a real solution. Like I think Cortana just like you killed Cortana at the end. I was just like, I don't want to play this. The fact that I don't remember is testament that it wasn't really something I was valued. Like I remember playing the first Halo. I remember playing the second Halo. I remember playing Halo 3. I remember playing Halo 3 ODST. I remember playing Halo Reach. Those are all memorable games, especially Halo 3, which is, well, I mean, I love the maps of Halo 2 more, but Halo 3 is the game I played the most online. That was one of the first that was on the Xbox 360. So like when Halo 3 ODST came out and they had like the fire team squads and you can kick for your people, I loved it. Um, when Halo Reach came out, that was an amazing game. It was Bungie's last with Halo. So like, I mean, that game's it was amazing online. That was like the first time they put the armor abilities in there, and like after that, like it just seems like 343 Studios was trying to copy. They were just trying to copy what Call of Duty and the shooters at the time were doing, and it just didn't make sense for Halo. I mean, it made sense for whatever Call of Duty was doing at the time, but it felt like they were just trying to pick off what Call of Duty was doing because the popularity of Halo had dropped. And I was just like, nah, you're never gonna. I don't think you're ever gonna achieve the pinnacle that Halo was, but you still need to stay true to what Halo is, and that's what will make the fans come back. And this, like a lot of people were just doing battle royale type stuff to keep up with Fortnite and what's the PUBG, player unknown battleground. But I was like, let those games have their time and then stick with what you are, because like it's a trend. You know what I mean? Like people are going to come back around to your game, and you don't want to look like all those other games while your game is. So like I think they need to dial it back around, see what made Halo work in the first place, and then expand upon that. Stop trying to be something you're not. um so rumors are going around that Bioware's new IP may have a beta, be like a private beta or a public beta. I would like them to have a public beta, which was actually test the servers for a game of that size. It was something that they're looking for, because quite frankly, I grew a little tired of Halo. I mean, they just dropped. Well, but I'm gonna talk about that next. How the Warmind DLC was, but uh, drop a beta, Bioware, because this is like the first time you're doing a game on something this scale, and one word or two words, private servers. Like, please have dedicated servers for this game. It's just in this day and age when you're having a game that size, I don't understand why Destiny doesn't have private servers. Like, it makes no sense for them not to. Um, like if this is gonna be something that's gonna push forward and they're gonna have for a few years, you need dedicated servers. Like it's just a must, like, because all the craziness that happens in in Destiny. I think the first day the DLC came out, it was knocking people off. They had an error, and they was doing some crazy stuff the day it came out, up until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Like I had to go to work. I didn't even get to play it the first day. So I mean, it doesn't make sense. And moving into this Warmind DLC, and I was like, it has a lot of the things that I think they saw worked with what's the thing called? Sorry. The Taken King. The Taken King was a good DLC for the it was a big chunk. It had a good campaign. And it did a lot of like secrets, like secret chests and stuff like that. Like, oh, you got to get this key to get to here, to do this, to do that, to do that, and it was cool. I mean, like it was really cool. It was a DLC that took a large chunk of time to get all the secrets and find all these little nooks and crannies and stuff, and that's what makes DLC nice. But like with this one, you see a lot of the same stuff, and they even got like I know like a little battle royale thing. I think it's called Escalation, and it's cool. I mean, like it's hard too. It's hard. Like I liked it. I was like, oh, I got some challenge to it. That's cool. But ultimately, like, how long is this content gonna last? Because this is I played about a few hours of it. I beat the campaign already. I beat the strike missions, and then I wasn't even interested in playing the raid. So I was like, um, but the raid is out. Like I got to get together with some of my old Destiny um clanmates and try to take that thing down. So I haven't heard anything and I haven't watched anything on it. So, but as far as Warmind goes, I mean, I would put it up there with right under the Taken King, because probably the second best DLC they ever dropped. But like, it's hard when it's like, I love Destiny and I want the game to do good. Like, I never buy a game wanting the game to be terrible, but like, you're falling into the same mistakes you're doing again and again and again. Like, there's like, oh, we got all these new armors, but then it's like I get 16 of the same armors over and over and over again. So like, you get the common armor and you be like, well, like, yeah, they use that to upgrade the other stuff, but it's nothing unique about those. Like, why are they still in the game? And then like the exotics aren't really exotic. Like, they don't have any uniqueness to them. Like, it just ultimately falls on like they're boring and dull. So I don't know. I haven't gotten all the exotics, so hopefully they have some cool exotic missions I can do. And I'll probably give a full review later on when I finish everything. But as far as it goes, I mean, like, it's cool, it's great. Like, for the first like 5 hours I play it, but I've only put in 5 hours of it, so we'll see later on, because this is something that's is it's a trend with Destiny where they'll have all this content out, you'll burn through that content, and there won't be content for another 6 to 7 months. And like, their answer is, oh, your people are burning through the content too much. I was like, no, why don't you have increments where it's like, we're gonna drop this DLC, then we're gonna 3 months or 2 months later we drop another little small DLC pack, then 2 months after that we drop another small DLC pack, and then at the 6 month period you drop one huge DLC, and then you do the same thing, you drop 2 month increments of small DLCs that keep people interested. But like, instead of doing that, you keep dropping big ones and then leaving months where in between we don't have anything to play or anything to do. So like, you need to have like small little events or increments and new weapons coming out, and let it trickle, like, let them trickle out. Like, hey, we give you like a little DLC pack, and let people get it for free. Like, why is it I always gotta pay for shit? Like, man, I already bought the game and I bought the 2 DLCs and I gotta pay for the other DLC coming out and the little DLC with the extra arm. No, man, like, just give me the DLC and then give me some free stuff that make me come. Like, first of all, y'all gamers are lowering. Like, a lot of people aren't playing the game because it's like, oh, I gotta buy everything. You got the Eververse that charges on everything, and then it's like, oh, microtransactions that I gotta buy. So like, why don't you give some stuff for free to entice people to come back, and then like maybe when you got your fan base back up again, and you're making regular stuff, then charge us with stuff. Like, man, you're not even, ugh, Destiny, you hurt my heart, man. Like, come on. So I saw a couple of trailers. One being the Predator trailer, which I was totally underwhelming. It didn't really show anything, and it kind of laid like an odd storyline where it was like a little kid opening up a box and it had like Predator tech in it, and I was just like, what? Is his dad? I guess his dad is like some type of archaeologist. He found it. I guess he had the stuff shipped to his house. And like his son opened the box and was just playing with the stuff, and then it seemed to, in the trailer, it seemed to insinuate that him playing with the toys actually brought down a Predator ship. And I was like, no, don't do that. That would be dumb. And then like another thing they insinuated was that the Predator is hunting strong enemies and then taking like the DNA or genes of those people and like infusing it in himself, kind of making him like the ultimate hunter. And I was like, I guess that's cool. It's different. It's definitely different. So I don't know, but I was kind of disappointed by it. I wasn't really enticed. Where it's like, this is the movie that's gonna refresh the franchise of the Predator and bring you back to like the good old Arnold Schwarzenegger days, where I don't know, it didn't look impressive. But just because the trailer didn't look impressive doesn't mean the movie is not impressive itself. Well, actually, it was just a teaser trailer, even though I think it was like 1 minute 20 seconds. So until we get a full trailer, I'm not gonna say it was bad. I'm gonna say it didn't excite me, and that I need to see more. So another trailer I checked out was the Luke Cage season 2 trailer. So this actually looked pretty good. It had some stuff in there. It had Luke Cage kind of making his promo for Heroes for Hire, like, "Hey, I'm Luke Cage, come see me," you know. And it was really cool. Like, he was still kind of doing his thing, kind of a man of the people. So people are coming to him, like high fiving him in the street. He runs into a guy that knocks him out. Like, he's like, "What? Who is this guy?" And then it's just like the trailer kind of pulls you in, and it's like, oh man, he just knocked out Luke Cage. Who the hell is this guy? And it's kind of like him explaining. He's like, man, Luke Cage is just a man to me. Da 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 da. So it's interesting. It's interesting that somebody is strong enough to knock out Luke Cage, and you don't know anything about him. So hopefully we get to hear and see one more trailer before it comes out. I think it actually comes out in June 22nd. So it's actually really close. It's close by. So if you didn't see that trailer, definitely check it out. It's interesting stuff on there. And of course, Mike Coulter is coming back as Luke Cage, which is cool. I was hoping to see like some crossover between him and Iron Fist, because the Iron Fist is terrible. Like, even though I think he's renewed for a second season, I don't really want to see his second season because he was just awful. The show was awful. So he was better in the Defender series, but that's not by much. I mean, they're just postponing what I really want to see, and that's that season 3 of Daredevil. But season 2 of Luke Cage, I wanted to see too. Season 2 of Jessica Jones was great, but I wanted to see more of Jessica Jones in Luke Cage's show, and a little more Iron Fist in there too, because that would be awesome. Because they could do the heroes. If you read the comic book, he does Heroes for Hire together with Iron Fist, and that would be awesome to see on screen, because their interaction on on the Defenders show was great. I like them together. I like their dynamic. So like maybe you can put them together, push up some of Iron Fist's credibility. So like when I walk into that season, I won't feel like he needs to die first thing. So I'm gonna end it off with Avengers Infinity War. This movie was incredible, and I went to see it about 3 times now. And I'm pretty convinced Marvel can't be stopped. Like, cause it's just this movie was amazing. It made 1.2 billion dollars within 2 weeks. This weekend it opened in China, and it's probably gonna make another like 300 million off of like that, man. I'll have to double check the numbers, but man, this movie, hopefully it tracks to hit like 2 billion and take down some of the people that have been holding that crown for a while as the top selling movies of all time. Black Panther domestically took down Titanic, and I think domestically Infinity War took down Black Panther. So I'm hoping that Infinity War will be at least underneath Avatar, because I don't think anything's gonna beat Avatar for a while. I think that one's 2.7 million. That's crazy, crazy amount of money to make. And wait, I think Star Wars, Star Wars, no, domestically Star Wars beat everybody. I think it's like 900 or something. I don't know, but anyway, if you haven't checked out Infinity War, do that shit today. Go out, see that movie, come back, see us over here at Nerd News. So always and every time you can always catch me on my YouTube page. It's edog11885. You can catch me on Twitter at edog11885, and also on my Daily Motion page is Eric the Brown. So definitely check out all those sources and hit me up on anything you need to. Comment on the video. Let me know what you think. I'll see you guys next time.